Well, we started from right here in front of Lucas Oil Stadium on Thursday, and my oh my, what a 4 days it has been from Indianapolis. 9 Notre Dame Fighting Irish players, all hoping to impress these scouts and with hopes and dreams of playing on Sundays.
It's just me working on myself to be better, strength-wise, speed-wise, skill-wise.
337 of the nation's best college athletes converging on Indianapolis for the 2020 NFL Scouting Combine. Speedster Troy Pride Jr., one of 9 former star players from the University of Notre Dame who accepted invites from the league to perform drills and show the football world why they should be selected in the NFL draft.
When you're a competitor, you put everything you have in everything you do. So, I mean, the 40-yard dash is something that obviously a lot of people put other stock in. But for me, when I'm on the field, when I touch the field, when I tie my cleats up, I'm giving it all I got.
The 40-yard dash, regarded as one of the highlights at each combine, did not disappoint if you're an Irish fan. The aforementioned Pride flying, putting up one of the fastest 40s of the weekend.
I've shown that I have size. If I can show that I have speed to go with it, it kind of separates me from, most of the guys.
No doubt one of the best overall scouting combine performances belonging to wideout Chase Claypool. Claypool named a top performer by the NFL Network with a 4.42 40, a 40.5-inch vertical, and a 10-foot 6-inch broad jump. I spoke exclusively to ND insider, writer, and analyst Tyler James, who tells me the 238-pound wide receiver now opens the door for teams as the NFL draft nears in April. How high do you think he can go now?
Yeah, it's tough for him because this wide receiver class is supposed to be very loaded, so I think he could even go in the 3rd round, which would seem like he's a better player than a 3rd-round player, but there's just so many receivers that I think teams might be patient because they just can get a guy like Chase Claypool in the 3rd round, and I think if you can get Chase Claypool in the 3rd round, you're going to be pretty ecstatic.
Unlike Claypool, defensive ends Khalid Kareem and Julian Okwara will have to wait to impress the scouts. Both captains and leaders of the Irish defense last season were injured in a game versus Duke in November.
I've been running recently, getting back up to speed, so I want to see a drop off there. I want to compete. I wanted to compete out in front of everybody, show them who Julian Okwara is.
Okwara was out there for one discipline and one discipline only.
Julian Okwara, University of Notre Dame.
The 2nd-round prospect gutting it out in the bench press in what he called reps for rare diseases. With hopes of raising $2,000 on 25 reps, Okwara did 2 better.
27.
In a memorable 27-rep performance.
This has been, honestly, the story of my life.
No matter how many drills these athletes experience in Indy, there's one intangible the scouts can't measure here: heart. And that's what defensive back Alohi Gilman is all about.
Coming from high school, underrated guy, going to Navy, my only offer out of high school. Going to Navy, guys didn't even think I was going to play there. Had a great year there, and going to Notre Dame, had to earn my stripes there as well. I know what type of player I am. I know what I bring to the table. And I know that when I get into the league, I'll be able to make a statement.
Alohi Gilman is such a big character guy, and we saw that this weekend. What are teams getting with him, and where do you see him maybe landing?
Yeah, definitely a great leader. I think it's interesting. I think people may question maybe some of his physical abilities. I don't know. He did have some impressive miles per hour rates when he was practicing in the Senior Bowl before going out with a hamstring injury. Some of these numbers maybe will be important for him. He's not the biggest guy, maybe not the strongest guy, but plays with a lot of passion, and I think that'll definitely translate to whatever team he goes to. He's going to find a way to make an impact somewhere, especially as a special teams player early on.
Knock it out! Knock it! Knock it!
At the end of the day, after the chalk flies, after every 10th of a second is analyzed and every inch is meticulously measured, there are still 32 teams who have one goal in mind: to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. Every Super Bowl dream starts on day 1 of the NFL Draft, and it starts with many of these 337 players in Indy. For these 9 who start in South Bend, it's on to Las Vegas, where a little luck of the Irish and a lifetime of hard work will hopefully pay off. Well, one important date to remember, that is April 1st. That is Notre Dame Pro Day, another chance for these Fighting Irish players to impress the scouts before the NFL Draft in late April. Well, that'll do it for us. For one last time from Indianapolis, from the NFL Combine, Vahid Sadrzadeh, ABC 57 News.